I've got to clarify some things I talked about in my last video, this controversy with Tim Pool, because I was limited on time, had to do the overnight shift, so I could only do about a 6, 7, maybe 8-minute video. Wasn't able to say everything that I wanted to say, and I got a lot of comments about this video. So thank you for commenting or subscribing if you've been subscribing. But my point in that video was, if you have a YouTube channel, you own a business, you're in a relationship with somebody, whatever the case may be, you have to be a person of character and integrity. And I'm not saying that Tim Pool is not a person of character and integrity. I don't know Tim Pool personally. I have nothing against Tim Pool or his channel. It's just not my cup of tea. Likewise, he may not watch my channel. It may not be his cup of tea. But when I was watching these clips, because I didn't just go into that video I did Friday night blindly. I looked at different clips, different channels, saw what people were saying about this. But when I watched those clips, and body language is everything, I got the sense that Tim Pool doesn't want to be there. And he comes from a generation that is pretty much the internet generation. When I was growing up, I was born in 77. The internet wasn't really around unless you're on a college campus somewhere. But I remember it being launched in 95. I was a junior in high school. I mean, I used reel-to-reel tape. Anybody know what reel-to-reel tape is? It was considered the most expensive audio format ever produced. So Tim Pool comes from that generation. That's the internet generation that wants that 15 minutes of fame. Now, to his credit, he's done a lot of good work. He's worked hard to get where he's at, and I applaud that. And that's inspiration for me as a fellow YouTuber. It really is. I'm not jealous of his success because we're two different people. I like what I'm doing here. I've said it before, I'll say it again. And I really believe this. If I reach 1 or 2 people, to me, that's success. And I think people today don't understand the meaning of success. If you're happy, you have everything you want, you're doing what you want in life, you got a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your belly, you're a success. Now, just to give you a synopsis here of what happened, in case you're not familiar. And the other point I was trying to make is we don't need all of the drama on YouTube. It does not help the platform. I'm a positive person. And I will do my best on this channel not to say anything negative about another YouTuber. Purposely say something negative about another YouTuber. I mean, go after that person. That's different than talking about this issue here where you have something that's happened with a fellow YouTuber and it's exploding over the internet. I mean, I might go after politicians in D.C. because that's part of the fun of this channel here, because I think Republicans and Democrats are full of crap. But that's for another time. Another time, another place. But if you're not familiar with what's going on here, Tim Pool had not just one, but 2 guests on his show. One person, I'm not going to name names here, but the first person was on his show for several weeks. And it came out that he had some views that were opposite to what he was saying on Tim Pool's show. Now, you can't hold Tim Pool responsible for the views of that particular person or opposite views. So Tim Pool isn't to blame there. Then he had another person on, twice, who claimed they were a victim of X, Y, or Z. And there was another person who questioned this, or there were some things coming out where this was being questioned. Because I guess there were some music videos, maybe some pictures that were posted on Twitter. Somebody who talked about this or asked these questions on Twitter got banned from Twitter. People believe that this person who claimed to be a victim may have been working for Twitter. I don't know. Can't tell you all the details here, but there is a clip floating about of this person in Tim Pool's house on the couch playing footsie with somebody's crotch. Okay? So when you see that, and you see Tim Pool come out, and the impression I got was basically attack his fans. Now, he said, hey, there might be some bots out there that claim to be my fans, but he read a comment from somebody who said, I am not a bot. I am not a bot. I am a fan. I love your show. Why didn't you come out and talk about this? Because he has built his reputation on this idea of censorship. And I talk about all the time on this channel, anti-censorship, the importance of history and culture preservation. And I full-heartedly believe that. Hey, it would be great to get as many subscribers and views as Tim Pool has. Well, that may never happen, and I am willing to accept that because I'm happy with what I'm doing because it works for me. This is me. I don't have to be anybody else. Look, I'm 46 years old. I've been around the block a couple of times, okay? But I think that Tim Pool comes from that generation, as I was saying earlier, where they must get their 15 minutes of fame, and he's trying to be part of a movement. Well, it's just like what happened with Steven Crowder and the Daily Wire, where the Daily Wire sent Steven Crowder this proposal, and he put out this video fighting back against this. Now, I watched that video, and Steve, whatever his name was reading the proposal, and I went through it. And it seemed to me very one-sided. Okay, so Steven Crowder is going to be responsible for all the production cost. Well, what if that production cost him whatever the amount was that you're willing to pay him? And you can have productions that cost that much, just as people who work in Hollywood work on a movie. So you're not giving him any benefit where maybe you'll pay for some of the equipment or you'll provide some equipment for him, that sort of thing. That should have been, in my humble opinion, that proposal. But the thing that got me was when this Steve guy, whatever his name is, was reading this, he said, oh yeah, our movement, and it's hard to keep people working here, we're short-staffed. Well, are you running a movement? Are you running a business? But at the end of the day, you're here to entertain people. Be a positive influence. And if something comes up, Tim, and I understand that you can't control somebody's views or if they lie to you, that's not your fault. So I'm not pinning that on you. But if your fans are asking you to talk about something, talk about it. Don't attack your fans. Don't accuse your fans of being nothing but a bunch of bots. It's not a good look. So that's what I was trying to clarify is, if you have a YouTube channel, you have a business, something comes up, talk about it. Be upfront about it. Because people will support you more when you do that than waiting to talk about something or telling people to screw off or whatever the case may be. So thank you for being with me. That's all I'm going to say about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, understand where I'm coming from. But let's do our best to support each other in this thing called YouTube and prop each other up, not tear each other down. And look, I understand there's always going to be squabbles. That happens. Human nature is what it is. But instead of focusing on, I must have my 15 minutes of fame, do what you love and be honest with your audience, because you would not be here without them. They're your bread and butter, plain and simple. So if you enjoyed the video, as I said, please let me know in the comment section below, or you can subscribe, all that fun stuff. You can also follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time, which is why I believe in being anti-censorship. Or you can go to Twitter. Find me at Twitter, Culture Confederacy at Twitter. This is the Culture Confederacy saying, peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing we call the United States. And you know how we do it here. This is where the past crashes with the present. I'll catch you next time.